we are going to get a stimulus package. 2, the cure is not really going to match the underlying sickness. And 3, there are some risks involved here that need to be highlighted. So let me start that. We will get a stimulus package, because, well, the main reason is it's an election year, and politicians really want to be seen as doing something. And you should not underestimate the power of incumbents coming together under the name of bipartisanship to protect their own seats. I think that's a first-order issue in the motivation for this. The other motivation, which I'll come back to, is last year we talked about PAYGO rules. Well, PAYGO rules are out the window if you're talking about stimulus. So all of a sudden, all the various pent-up ideas that people have wanted to move but couldn't because it costs money, now they can get stuck into the stimulus package or the stimulus debate. I'll come back to that in a second. What the package will look like is something like what the House and the White House have come up with. The Senate is a little annoyed that they weren't involved. They'll change some things. There might be a food stamp or an unemployment insurance thing. They might cut back on the business aspect. But basically, the centerpiece is going to be a big rebate. There's an issue about who gets it, seniors, low income, or just income taxpayers or just payroll taxpayers. But basically, there's going to be a big rebate. There's going to be some stuff around it. It's going to be about 1% of GDP. So there is going to be a bill. That's point one. Point two, the bill is not going to really address the underlying issue. All right. What's the underlying issue? Well, it's sustained and systematic expediency in the economic system. And you see this in households, bringing the household saving rate down to zero, the first time since the 1930s that happened. You see this in lenders basically ignoring all standards of lending and just giving almost anybody whatever loan they want. You see this in the federal government, which has raised spending and cut taxes like it's gone out of style the last 6 or 7 years. And you see this in the Fed, which cut interest rates to historic lows in the mid part of the decade. So everybody is pushing toward now. Finally, the housing market bursts, and everyone thought it was in a bubble. And so housing is coming down. People are spending less, which means they're saving more. And the policy response to all this is, well, let's get housing back up and let's get saving back down. So it's sort of like you get drunk, you have a hangover, you go get another drink to solve the hangover. And so we're trying to get out of this by borrowing more. The government's going to borrow more, people are going to spend more, people are going to save less. You can't get there from here in a long-term sense. You can boost the economy up, but it's a little bit like the Iraq situation. We're succeeding in Iraq, but if we pull people out, we won't be succeeding. Well, the economy is succeeding by some measures because it's being stimulated so continually and so substantially. If we pull that stimulus back, then it's not going to succeed as much. And that's sort of my concern, is that the cure is not going to match the disease.